Hey guys, I decided to save my, I think it was around 10 inches, but it's like the bigger cloud figure for later because there's like certain things I have to figure out. I haven't played around with the figure so much that it would be like too good to review. There are certain parts and joints, like when I'm swapping out the hands, for example, because it comes with like more hands as accessories, and it's very difficult, and so I might have to adjust using like a blow dryer and like figure out like if I can get it to be looser so that way it fits in the joints. So for the time being, I am going to do figure review of Sora instead. I went to Panda Hobby, which is like this place normally you would buy like Gundams from, but they actually have some nice expensive quality figures too. They also have Band Presto figures as well, but they also have like Nendoroids, some Figmas, I think, and then also like Square Enix ones, like this one, and then the Final Fantasy ones too, and then yeah. So basically, this was the last one in stock. I actually went all the way to Markham, and then I bought it. So yeah, it was $119.99 Canadian, which isn't too bad, I would say, for a Sora figure. I'm surprised though because this is like the Pirates of the Caribbean version for the Kingdom Hearts 3. I still have yet to play all of the Kingdom Hearts, so don't mind me that I don't know that much about it. So yeah, but anyways, this is like, even online, this was the cheapest option ever for Sora. If you want like the original classic look of Sora with like the black, white, and red, where his outfit is mainly red color, it goes for a lot of money, and I would say it's hard to find. Like, you can maybe find it on eBay for being resold, but people like resell him for like crazy amounts, and I think it's because he's so popular, and also he's the main character, so it's like people just keep buying and reselling like very expensively. Also, I guess that's why he's sold out most places in general. So yeah, so when I saw this, you can technically buy this on, I think, Amazon.com for the US one, but I didn't see it on the Canadian one. So yeah, but anyways, he's fairly cheap this one, which I was surprised. And then I think there's a cheaper line, which my brother got me an Axel figure of, but that was a long time ago. I think you can find that line still on like eBay being sold like really cheap and affordable. Other than that, if you're getting like these Ring Arts figures, they're quite pricey. So yeah, but surprisingly it's not that bad for how much stuff it comes with. And just have this sticker, the holographic sticker, and also behind here it also has the official logo for the Bring Arts. And on the bottom too, it does have the code that is indented here. Apparently, if they don't have these markings on the box, it is most likely a fake. So luckily everything checks out. This is being sold by like Panda Hobby though, so they are legit when it comes to stuff. They also sell like Figmas and stuff like that. The one Figma that I wanted was Link, but apparently he is sold out everywhere that I check. And I think another thing is people complain about his sizing too, so his scaling isn't that well. So yeah, the one thing I don't like about these figures is that it's not clear the size of them, like the scaling, like it doesn't really say anywhere. You can go online and look, and they'll tell you in like centimeters or like centimeters or so, but then you'll be like having to translate that into like inches, because normally for scaling you go by inches. So yeah, it's a bit strange and very confusing. Also, Band Presto does that too, where like you don't know exactly the scale of it, like for the statues, like the $30 statues that I normally buy. So yeah, that's the thing about certain things. They kind of annoy me because they don't say the price and they don't say the scaling properly, and then sometimes you don't even see a scaling, and then it just gets annoying. So it has a list of the stuff. So it has the stand. We're probably not going to look at the stand today because all of them I really genuinely did not take out the stand because I don't want to like... Because it's acrylic plastic, so it might be hard to take apart, like, once I peg everything in. And I don't want to connect everything and then end up having, like, just a stand that could potentially break. So, yeah, but most of the stands are kind of, like, mediocre, like, because they are acrylic plastics like this. And then it does show you how to put on his keyblade in his hand. He has 3 different head sculpts for the face. Basically, it's basically the face changes for them, but everything else is the same. And then also 1, 2, 3, 4 different types of hands. So yeah. And yes, I did like look at this already, so that way I'm like prepared for like changing everything out. Comes nicely wrapped. So this is the stand, basically a clear acrylics. I don't know, I'm not too big of a fan of clear acrylics because they technically are easy to break and they're technically easily discolored. Like eventually they'll become yellow if you keep them in the sun for too long. But I do have a bunch of things that are clear acrylics for my figures, so yeah. Because I do have like these small stands, basically. It's like step ladders, basically. And it actually is because it's acrylic, but I kept it anyways. So I don't know if I will keep it. Like, I will probably keep that as well. But this one is shaped like a heart for the Kingdom Hearts. It's super cute. So let's get to the figure first, and then I'll swap out the hands and then you guys can see. So this Sora is so cute. So it does have like different like scratch marks and stuff like that on him, so it kind of just gives him like the scuff marks. The hat is so pretty too. I really love like some of these are like soft plastic, like the bandana and stuff like that. So pretty. He also got his necklace, then the collared shirt. Everything is like molded so well. He's even got the classic, like the shoes are pretty big. So yeah, so the head you can turn 360 basically. Oops. It's a bit loose. So you can turn 360 basically. You just kind of have to be careful though, because the bandana, can go up and down a little bit, not too much on this figure. The arms go up pretty nicely, and then they do rotate as well. And then we got the elbows. I think I don't know if it's like similar to double jointed, but it is soft. Like, you don't hear the sound of it clicking. The only one that I hear the sound of it clicking, again, like I said in my other video, was like the 10-inch cloud. So that one you can actually hear when you're moving the joints. These ones are pretty soft though, so they don't sound scary. That one kind of sounds a bit scary. And then you can move the wrist up and down, swivel it, and then doesn't really have anything for like his torso, but you could, like, this is how far his legs go up. It is soft plastic here though, so it goes up pretty high. Oh my. And then because of the coat though, you can't really go too back, but I guess realistically speaking with the joints, it doesn't really look that great anyways when you do that, so it's fine. This part is loose though, like the waist part. I guess it's so that way you can actually move it. It's not really like, it's just in place, but I think that's why you guys can see like gaps and stuff sometimes when I move it. So yeah, and then you can bend his knee pretty far. That's pretty decent amount, and you can pivot his ankle all the way around, but he doesn't have the this one doesn't have the heel joints, like the ones where you can move the heel up and down. That's okay, I guess. Don't really need those unless like you're doing like some bending poses, but that's fine. And then this is what the back of the coat looks like. It's so nice. Like, it's soft plastic, but it has like all the patterns on it too. I really like this. So he can actually stand fairly well on his own, if I can get him to stand. He was standing pretty well on his own, actually. Yeah, so he stands pretty well on his own, but I do recommend the stand. But he does feel a bit more durable than the other Square Enix figures, like the Cloud, like the Final Fantasy ones. So this one definitely has more durability, like the way the plastic feels. It doesn't feel like super delicate, like it's gonna break if you drop it or any type of thing like that. It kind of feels more like the McFarlane toys, just a little bit less durable is what it feels like. So yeah, if you want to kind of compare the feeling. What else? This guy, I think he's roughly 7 inches because he actually is the same height, like almost the same height, like a bit taller than my Cloud, which is 6.6 inches. So he might be the 7-inch scale actually. So the only one that I have that's not really the scale is Cloud. Normally I collect like 7-inch McFarlane toys for like My Hero Academia and stuff like that. So yeah. That's the only issue with scaling, is that trying to figure out the scales, and then sometimes some companies don't do certain scales. I think 7-inch isn't as popular as 5-inch either, or I don't know if there's like the 6 inches as well. So that being said, 7 inches kind of a strange one that I collect, but I prefer the 7 inches because it's a really nice big scale to have. So yeah, but you can get like the even bigger scales, like the 10 inches and stuff like that too. So this is the keyblade that he has for the Pirates of the Caribbean. It has like all the detailing and it's super pretty, and like even this chain part is like the skulls. So I'm gonna do it off camera, of course, but I'm gonna show you guys like how you remove it. You basically just remove this piece and then you peg the arm there. I'm gonna actually do that off camera though, because it's a bit finicky changing everything on camera. So yeah, just to make it easier. So I'm gonna be back and then we're gonna see some of the other hands and then the facial expressions. Okay, so for this one, I changed out the head to another one, which is more of like the angry open mouth face, and then I also put in the fists that can actually hold the keyblade itself. So the other one that he had on were actually closed fists, which is his default fists over here, and then I just gave him the ones that can hold it. There was a struggle between me and the keyblade because the fist here, I guess because it's a new figure, it's a bit tight when I was putting it on the handle part. So I think I might have to, like, I could go at it with like a blow dryer and heat it up a little bit, but like you do it by intervals, like a couple seconds here and there, and then you can just get it in. But for this one, I kind of just twisted slowly. It does make a loud sound, which concerns me and scares me, but it actually works. But always try to like slowly put in different things, like when it comes to like the joints or like those parts, because if you do it too fast, it can actually break and snap, and then you won't be able to like replace it. You'd have to get like an entirely new one. So yeah, I don't know about like these joints though, like these ball joints, like if you're able to get other ones. You might be able to find online because there's like such thing as customization and stuff like that. So maybe, but overall, yeah, I'm just afraid of that. So yeah, but here's what his face looks like in detail. Like, it's the more angry face. Doesn't look too angry, to be honest. Sora has like a very soft face. The only thing is this hand for some reason had red on it, like red markings. I don't know if red paint somehow got onto it as they were packaging this or making this in general. So yeah, but that was a weird defect to have. But here is Sora with his keyblade. Okay, I'm going to change him out again, and then we're going to see the other hands, and then there's also one more face, and then there's another set of hands. So there's 2 more sets of hands, and then there's one more face. So yeah. Okay, so for this one, let me just move the camera down a bit because the box is too big. Okay, so for this one, it is Sora with his hands like completely open, like widely open, so the fingers are outstretched. There's one more where the hands are like a little less outstretched like that, but they're like open. But yeah, it's super cute. So here's the face. So this face is just like a regular face. It's not as smiling as the other one. This one is like more smiling, like with the open mouth smile. This one is just like a delicate, like neutral face, which is super cute. So everything is the same on it, like even the bandana and the hair. I did find though, when switching out this part, you have to be careful because it actually, the hair is soft plastic and you have to put it like in the collar. So you have to like make sure you're putting it in properly, not the hair like sticking out and bending. But yeah, that's basically it for this one. And now we're going to the last pair of hands. So I will be back again and then we'll see like the other hands. Okay, so this is the last set of hands, and that's basically it for all the accessories. The face, I just kept the same neutral face as like the closed smile thing as before. And so yeah, these are what the hands just look like. They're like slightly closed, but they're like just open hands like this. They're not like the other ones where it looks like his hands are like waving like that. So yeah, but it's super cute. I think all of these accessories are pretty nice. For the price, I will say this is one of the most in terms of Square Enix figures, like the Bring Arts action figures, this is probably one of the best in terms of like the prices. It does come with a decent amount of like hands and accessories. It comes with 2 other faces, like heads, so it does make up for that amount. Unlike the Cloud one where it did cost a bit more, like it was 140 something, and yet it didn't come with like anything else except for like 2 more sets of hands. So this one is kind of better. I don't know why that's the case, why Sora gets more, and then meanwhile Cloud, who is like roughly that over that $100 mark, he gets less. So I don't know if that's just like because it's Final Fantasy, so they're like super more expensive. But at the same time, Bring Arts is normally expensive for all their figures. But however, for this one, I will say the price is good for what you get, because you do get 2 other heads, and then you get 4 sets of hands. So yeah, that's pretty good for what it is. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm thinking about which figure to do next because I have 2 more. It's like the Cloud, and then I think Red 13, and then I think that's it, but I'll have to double check. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bye.